Welcome to Whiskey's a Journey. My name is Peter Fasciano, and we are winding down my Irish single pot still whiskey series. I've got 3 left: the Red Spot, the Redbreast 21, and then the Redbreast 27. So let's get into it. Today, Red Spot 15. Let's pour it, nose it, taste it, talk about it, and then if you stick around until the end, we're going to give it a score. Red Spot is coming in at 46% ABV, 15 years of age, triple distilled, and it is matured in ex-bourbon, ex-oloroso, and ex-marsala casks. Natural color, non-chill filtered, 750 milliliter bottle. And the price on this, I got this for secondary, which I don't suggest anybody do. I believe retail is around $200, and I paid $300 in Phoenix, Arizona. All right, let's get this thing on the nose. Right as I'm pouring it, I can smell sweetness, followed by some spice. So the 2 notes here that are pretty prominent, they're up front, is sweet, immediately followed by spice. And the sweetness is a little bit weird. Knowing that this is ex-bourbon, ex-sherry, and marsala, I would think it would be pretty dark, but there is a lighter side to this, a lighter side than I would actually think there would have been. I would say that there is a crisp citrus note in here. Lemon and orange, probably more so on the orange side than lemon. Definitely a good amount of malt. Vanilla is coming through. And the spice that I'm getting, even though there is a touch of pepper, I think it's a little bit more towards a Christmas spice, like nutmeg and allspice. And if you were to press me on a fruit note that I'm getting, dried fruit and maybe a little bit of strawberry. Yeah, like a strawberry vanilla. Smells pretty good. I wouldn't say that it's the best nose of the spot whiskeys, but it's pretty good. And every once in a while, I do get a touch of sulfur sometimes in the Irish pot still whiskeys. And there it is faint, but it is way, way, way in the background. And my guess would be over time, 15 minutes in the glass, I'm sure that sulfur note would dissipate. All right, let's get it on the palate, see what I think. Sugary sweet. Actually, it's kind of thin a little bit. I would expected it to be a little bit more robust. The vanilla, the citrus is there. The cooking spice, the cinnamon, allspice, nutmeg, almost like a Christmas cake or a fruit cake with the dried fruits in there. It does have a good amount of maltiness. And if you're unfamiliar with single pot still Irish whiskeys, their mash bill is a combination of malted and unmalted barley. And I get more malt in here than I do other single pot still Irish whiskeys, especially in the spot lineup. On that initial sip, I would say that the finish is medium. Doesn't seem like it's hanging around all that long. Let's get that second sip, see if I can pull anything else out of it. All right, on that one, I do get a lot of dried fruit, and it is a little bit cherry forward, followed by those citrus notes, and then the vanilla, a little bit of barrel tannin on the side. As it travels to the back of the palate, a little bitter. That vanilla comes out again. Pretty good amount of oak. Yeah, that's pretty good. It's not the best spot whiskey that I had, but it seems to be pretty good. And yeah, that finish is pretty short to medium. It kind of disappears pretty quick. This was reestablished in the American market, just like all the other spot whiskeys. There was that Irish boom, and then they disappeared, and then they reintroduced them. So the only information that I really have for you on this one is a reminder of the spot whiskeys. I want to make sure I get my dates right. So it looks like Green Spot was reintroduced in 2014, Yellow Spot in 2015. Recently, Blue Spot hit the market in 2021. And then if we back up a little bit more, Red Spot was actually reintroduced in 2018. And then just a refresher, the spot whiskeys are being aged underneath the streets of Dublin. The people that Mitchell and Son ended up putting paint spots on the individual barrels that held whiskey from Jameson. They were wine merchants, and when the barrels were gone, they sent them to Jameson. They filled them up, they brought them back, and then they put red spots, green spots, blue spots, and yellow spots on the casks to identify the ages that they thought the casks were going to be good with. I'm going to add a little bit of water to this, see if it does anything. I'm going to let it sit for a little bit. I'm just going to fast forward through that. There's not really necessarily much more to add other than that. So I'm gonna let this sit for a little bit, swirl this in the glass or roll it around, and I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. That wasn't too long. So let's get this on the nose again, on the palate with the water, see if anything's changed, see if it opened up. Typically, I would usually get a more spicy note the first or second sip when I add the water. Every once in a while, it will open this up and I get a strong hit of vanilla. That is my initial takeaway with the water. Heavily malted, the citrus note is there, dried fruit. I don't really get the cherry any longer, but it is malt and vanilla. Let's get it on the palate. I hate to use the word thin, but I am going to use the word thin. My expectation of this was up here as far as the viscosity and the robustness of it, and it kind of just fades into the background. And maybe that has something to do with the finish being short to medium. Also being aged 15 years, I thought it would be a little bit more complex, a little bit more well-balanced. If you are having this, again, drink the whiskey however you want, but with me, I don't think I would add water to this. It drops the potency and it basically kills some of the subtle notes that were there at the beginning. Overall, I think this is decent, but it's not great. And especially for the price, I don't think this is going to be a spot whiskey that I reach for very often, even though I'm a little bit lower than halfway through the bottle. I will savor whatever I have left in this. And if you're new here, my scoring system is out of 5 stars. And I'm starting to put in price as one of the factors. So based on everything that I just said, and even though this is a very expensive, hard to find Irish single pot still whiskey being in the lineup of the spots, I would put this at about 3.5 stars. But because it's so incredibly difficult to find and the prices going upwards around $200 to $300 to $400 on secondary, I'm going to knock this down to 3.45. I don't think it is as complex or as flavorful as the age would indicate that it should be with the Marsala and the sherry barrel and the ex-bourbon, even though the vanilla notes are coming through. I just expect a little bit more each time I go into this, and it just doesn't produce what I think it should be. So that's where I have it, 3.45. If you've had Red Spot, let me know in the comments down below where you would put this within the spot lineup and or maybe in the single pot still Irish whiskey lineup. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Let me know in the comments down below. If you like this information and you're not subscribed to the channel, do me a favor and subscribe to the channel. Just go ahead and click on that little icon down there. If you like this information, remember I go live with videos or I publish videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So turn that bell notification on so when I do publish videos, you'll be notified. So that's all I have for you today. Not a whole lot to say about the Red Spot. It's kind of just meh for me. I could take it, I could leave it, and I'm going to leave it at that. I hope you're enjoying your journey because I'm certainly enjoying mine. And until the next time, we'll talk to you later. Bye.